Hello, welcome back to Gifts Cooked with Love, and in this video I'm going to show you one of my favourite Christmas cooking things, and that's Almond Addiction. You might have heard of it before, and if not, that's okay. It's been around for a few years now. It became like the dish of the book when Festive Flavour Cookbook came out a few years ago, and everyone was making it. They don't call it addictive for nothing. In fact, one tip I will give you is don't make it too soon before you're going to give it away, because you'll end up having to remake it like I have to many times, because I've ended up eating the gift that I was intending to give. But let's get started. It's pretty simple and really, really tasty. Okay, we've got almonds, milk, some vanilla paste, sugar and corn flour. So not a lot of ingredients necessary for this. So let's start cooking. Let's start cooking. Alrighty. I've preheated the oven to 190, and I've also greased or actually put baking paper down on a tray we're going to be ready to go. I'm starting with 300 grams of, the recipe says blanched almonds. That's fine, they are more expensive, but I just tend to use normal almonds. And at Christmas time, you might be using a lot more nuts than normal, so this is where you can save some money by buying your nuts at a good price. Locally, I find that Aldi do a bag of nuts for around about the $13 to $16 a kilo. Coles do too, sometimes they're on special, but if you're in Brisbane, check out Titan Foods and Mega Continental. They're both in West End, and they do bulk nuts. But I just put these straight in, so that's 300 grams of nuts. A few runaways there. Pop the lid on. And then we're just going to give those a quick chop. Okay, next. In with 240 grams of raw sugar. I've made it with white sugar as well, and it worked really well. Brown sugar might make it a little bit too rich, but a light brown sugar would probably be okay. And then 60 grams of corn flour. Little tap. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You can make your own vanilla extract in the Thermomix, but I'm actually going to use vanilla paste that I've made in my Thermomix. There's a recipe on Cookie Do and on the recipe community, and it's a real money saver. I make this full jar, I've used some of it, a full jar like that for around about the $25 mark. It really depends how well you buy your vanilla beans, but if you buy them online, you can usually get them a lot cheaper than in the supermarket. So I put that in, and then there's 70 grams of full cream milk in with that. And then 120 grams of unsalted butter. And then back on with the lid. And then we're just going to cook that on 100 degrees for 17 minutes, and on reverse so the nuts don't get chopped up as well. Okay, I'll be back in 17 minutes for the next step. Okay, that part is done, and now it's a matter of getting the Almond Addiction out of the bowl. I'll give you a little look. If you can see in there, it's sort of started to really be a light caramel. And we've just got to scrape that out onto a tray with some baking paper on it. Pretty easy to get out. Yum. All right. The next trick is to make sure that it's spread pretty evenly so it cooks evenly in the oven. What we want to avoid is having some bits that are thicker and then longer to cook, which will come out chewy while the other ends might be already well done. So that's a bit of a trick with this one, is to get it all cooked at the same time. It might, depending on your oven, might mean you need to turn the tray around during the cook. Okay. I'm ready to pop this in the oven at 190 degrees, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, the Almond Addiction is out of the oven, and doesn't it look amazing? I've got to be honest with you, I actually burnt the first lot because I let it go right to the 20 minutes and my oven's a bit on the hot side. So I had to bin that lot and make another one. This one I pulled up at about 15 minutes and it was just on done. It could have done another minute, but I didn't want to risk it. So my message to you with that one is all ovens are different, so keep an eye on it. Set your timer for around about 14 minutes and then just keep watching it until it's a good golden color. Okay, the next step for this is to break it up. It's cooled down now, so it's at that hard crack stage. I'm going to be packaging it up in some craft bags, which don't love the grease in this. So I'm going to put on some disposable kitchen gloves to break it up. And the reason I do this is because next step I'm going on is to bag these up, and I don't want greasy fingerprints on the bag. If you're doing this Almond Addiction into another kind of packaging, then you could potentially skip this bit, but I don't want to take any risks. I want to make it look as professional as possible. Okay, here is our perfect slab of Almond Addiction. And now it's just going to artfully, casually, now see that's actually still a little bit chewy there, even though that's cooled. But if I pop that in the fridge, it'll probably firm up even more. Now, what I've learned over making this many, many times is that it's almost impossible to get it evenly cooked from the edges right into the center. So don't worry too much about that. Sometimes the edges have to be sacrificed to get a good color on the inside. But we've got lots of really nice shards of Almond Addiction here, and I'll pop that aside. That will do that. Okay, next step. Take these very greasy, remember how much butter was in that, and the next step is, I'll just wipe my hands, is to start bagging it up. And I'm using this craft bags, it's gusseted and it's self-sealing, so it's got like a Ziploc thing at the top. I'll give you the link of where to buy these. I bought this at a Brisbane discount store called Stacks. There's a few of them around the place and they sell lots of different types of these bags. This one's got, you open it up like that, and it is lined inside, so the grease on this in the Almond Addiction isn't going to come through. That's why I'm being super careful on the outside. Okay, so I just want to open that up as much as possible. These also come in white and in loads and loads of different sizes. I also use this kind of packaging a lot for when I give away my granola, which I'll show you in another video. Okay, let's start packing it up. And we want the kind of cooked side to the window because that's the prettiest. Let's start packing it up. Okay, got all that in there. How are we going? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Maybe another piece. This is a great teacher gift. All right, now it's like that. Now I'm going to just slide it across to Ziploc it. You'll feel it click together. Now these bags have that plastic lining on here that when heated up will seal. So I've got my trusty hair straightener, GHD here, and all you do is just press that down and that will melt that plastic and seal it off. If you haven't got a hair straightener, an iron will do just fine, and let that cool. Okay, nice work. All right, my next step is to package this up. I really like with the craft ones, I really like the blackboard stickers with white writing. It has kind of a rustic feel to it, but this time I'm going to add a festive coloured ribbon. Now I just found this ribbon in my ribbon box, so go and have a look at what you've already got. You don't have to go out and buy all new stuff to do this. In fact, it's better and obviously cheaper if you can use up some of the things you've already got lying around. Okay, I'm going to run this ribbon around lengthwise and then I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to stick that down. I've already written on my sticker, Almond Addiction, the big love heart. And I'm going to stick that over that ribbon as straight as possible. Now all I need to do is either put a clip or a tape here to finish that off. But how gorgeous is my Almond Addiction present? I'll be right back with another video soon.